for the Israel
there.
stuff, me and Darius should probably go away and like learn what we're talking about, and then we can come back fully informed.
I think Darius is quite informed, but I also
I'm
think
more
you're
informed than Darius.
Well, you're not. But the point is, no one actually wants. Listen, when it comes to Palestine, Israel, no one actually wants informed debate about it. They want rage and controversy.
That's
what we delivered.
I try and avoid information about it, so I can keep that sort of just biased rage going.
Makes sense.
I'm not biased, but I used to do a joke like I was like, man, Palestinians don't hate Jews because they're Jewish. They hate them because they're there. It's not as if Mexico took over Palestine. They'd be like, oh, that's cool. You can take my house, but at least I got tacos, right? The whole situation is polemical.
Well, this is sort of, like the Roman Empire. Everybody's like, oh, the Roman Empire is so barbaric and colonized all these places. But they let people keep their religion, keep their culture and all the rest of it. They had to pay some tax to the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire came in and brought, like, water, fresh water, sanitation, like roads, all this, like, technological advancements and totally improved places. So, I think, I don't know, I just feel like, Israel would be a great place to live, like a better place to live than Syria. You know what I mean? I've
been to Israel, right? I like Israel. I went to Tel Aviv. I went to Eilat. The women are all fucking fine. The problem one country's there, but like you said, it's not going away. It's there. You have to accept the facts on the ground. So the question then is, do you make one super state, which is what I would say, just make one massive Israel, United States of Israel and Palestine, but they don't want to because that wouldn't be a Jewish state. So in that case, you need a viable two-state solution, which means retreat back to the 1967 borders, give the Palestinians autonomy, let them have their own land borders, let them have their own airports, etc., etc. Then, if Palestine does terrorist attacks or starts firing at Israel, you get the UN mandate to take action. So then the Israelis can say, hey, look, we've treated them fairly, and now they're firing. The problem is now, it seems so heavy-handed when the Israelis will come down on because of Sheikh Jarrah, then the Palestinians kick off, and then the actions, it seems one-sided. But I understand from the Israeli point of view, of course, they want to defend their country, they want to protect themselves, but also this latest bout of war had a lot to do with Netanyahu's loose grip on Israeli democracy, and he knows the best way to firm that up is by bombing Palestinians and shoring up that control. That's how I would solve it. They got to retreat back, make two-state solutions, and then if Palestine attacks, then they can say, look, we're given everything now. Look, they don't have a leg to stand on. But the way it is now, they're always going to look bad. It's like if I start a fight at Mike Tyson and then start punching him continually in the face, and then fuck his mum in front of him, and then he beats the fuck out of me, people still say, yeah, Mike Tyson should have handled himself better because he's Mike Tyson. That's spice. But I try and see it from both sides of view. But I mean, the trouble with it would be great if the UN could go in and be peacekeepers, but the UN, because it's like all the countries sit on the UN Security Council, and loads of countries are anti-Semitic, so they all give. That's why there's so many UN resolutions against Israel, but not against other countries. Hold on. This is the thing. When the problem is, I agree, there's definitely anti-Semitism against Israel. There's definitely Palestinians or Muslims or whoever or people on the left who are definitely anti-Semitic, but that's not the main. The main cause is people want justice between Israel and Palestine, and other people have hijacked that to be anti-Semitic. But on the other hand, I've seen some evil settler videos of Israelis just saying the nastiest shit about Arabs and Muslims. So there's people on both sides, right? Which for me is like you need to take religion out of this conflict, and it just be this is a territorial dispute between one country and another country.
I mean, there's Israelis, but there's Israelis that are anti-Arab, anti-Muslim, anti-Palestinian stuff. But like in the UK and in America and stuff, you don't see that that the waves of open sort of Islamophobia tied to this. Like at the pro-Israel march, there weren't these there wasn't this overt Islamophobia, anti-Arab sentiment. Whereas on the pro-Palestinian march, there was. And I know it's been hijacked by people, but it also seems to be a big part of it. And a big part of, I mean, if you look at Corbyn's Labour and stuff, the whole woke left is very anti-Semitic.
Yeah, but it's because it's so easy. And actually, the worst thing anyone who's pro-Palestinian can do is be anti-Semitic, because then it just anything that comes after it is nullified. It's the absolute worst thing. So these guys driving the cars through thingies, saying what they were saying, being anti-Semitic, doing hate was the worst thing, because then people aren't talking about the Israeli pinpoint missiles raining down on buildings and literally pulling children out of rubble. They're talking about dickheads in a car shouting anti-Semitic shit. It's the worst shit. And I think, I mean, listen, I'm not going to say anti-Semitism is not wrong. It's fucking the worst thing, and I hate it. And that's why I said don't conflate the two. But I feel worse for a Palestinian mum who has to pull her kid out of a building than someone who had to film a video of some dickheads in a car. Arrest them, put them in prison, make them pay.
Hamas are using children as shields, and they use the media center, because Al Jazeera were like, oh, we got bombed and stuff. It's like, yeah, but you've got Hamas in the floor below you.
Okay,
you know
but
I mean?
All right, fine. Listen, that's true. That is true. They use them. Fine. You're Israel. You've got one of the largest military budgets in the world. You're the most technical military in the world. You're meant to be the democracy in the Middle East, the only democracy in the Middle East. Fucking go in another way, send in commandos, go in like with commandos, do what you do, take your billions that you have in military aid. If you want to flush that building out, fucking rain down commandos from the thing on little SWAT wires, put them in like that. Then the world will say, well, why not? They're not the biggest, most military equipped thing. So that's my solution, as opposed to fuck it, bomb them. There's children in that building as well. That's what I would do.